Oh, hi. Sorry. Guess it's time for another speeding bulletin. Well, here's what happened in the world of Superman for the week October 18th to October 25th, 2013. A week in which filming took place for the upcoming Superman-Batman movie. A behind-the-scenes clip about making Superman fly in Man of Steel was released online. And Marv Wolfman spoke about taking over the writing duties on Superboy. Let's take a look at these stories and more. In movie news, filming on the upcoming Superman-Batman movie took place on Saturday, October 19th at the East Los Angeles College football stadium, where a scene was filmed showing a football game between Gotham City University and Metropolis State University. Warner Brothers announced that this would be the opening of the movie, then filmed two different plays between the two teams, while the crowd cheered or booed appropriately. BatmanNews.com managed to obtain photos of the uniforms the two teams wore. Greg Silverman, Warner Brothers President of Creative Development and Worldwide Production, spoke to Variety about the upcoming movie and dodged speculation of Wonder Woman making an appearance by saying, "Wonder Woman is an amazing character. We are taking it all very seriously and are trying to do a plan that's respectful to those characters and maximizes the stories as best they can." A behind-the-scenes video clip was released online showing the processes required to make Superman fly in the movie Man of Steel. Henry Cavill is shown being suspended from wires and rigging him in front of a green screen before being digitally rendered to appear as if he's flying or jumping faster than a speeding bullet. A gallery of photos has also been posted online showing green screen filming involving Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe and Michael Shannon. These photos and video clip are taken from the bonus material which will be available on the Blu-ray DVD release of Man of Steel on sale November 12th and available to order from our online store. Warner Brothers Home Entertainment released the first official clip from the film Necessary Evil Supervillains of DC Comics, which includes DC Entertainment Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns and renowned writers James Robinson and Paul Dini discussing the mirroring of a hero's characteristics in his fiercest villains. Released today, October 25th, you can order Necessary Evil Supervillains of DC Comics on Blu-ray and DVD from our online store. At New York Comic Con last weekend, Mattel showcased a number of their upcoming action figures, including a line of classic movie figures which feature a Superman action figure from Superman the Movie and a General Zod action figure from Superman 2. These 4-inch scale figures are created in the likeness of Christopher Reeve and Terrence Stamp respectively, and they're expected to include the movie artwork card displayed at the convention. No release date has been announced as yet. In TV news, Lou Scheimer, Emmy Award-winning co-founder of the cartoon company Filmation, died on Thursday aged 84. Scheimer and his company will best be remembered by Superman fans for the 1966 The New Adventures of Superman cartoons, which was followed by the Superman Aquaman Hour of Adventure and the Batman Superman Hour. Our condolences go out to his family and friends. The Peter Holmes Show has created a Batman vs Superman comedy sketch that some fans might like to watch. The comedy sketch does contain coarse language and adult themes, so viewer discretion is advised. Premiering on October 28th after Conan, the Peter Holmes Show will air on weeknights on TBS in the USA. In comic book news, Newsarama.com caught up with comic book writer Marv Wolfman to find out what his plans are for the monthly Superboy comic book title and how he feels about writing about John Lane Kent as opposed to Con the Clone. He said, "The Con stories were about him learning who and what he is and adjusting to his life. The John Lane Kent stories are about a man who has grown up to hate those with superpowers and was taught to stop them at all cost. Immediately, it means this is going to require a very different approach to plotting and storytelling." Comic books we reviewed this week included Batman Superman number 4, which was reviewed by Michael J. Petty, who gave it a 4 out of 5, saying, "This issue was an overall solid conclusion to this first arc." James Lance reviewed Supergirl number 24, giving it a 4 out of 5, saying, "The overall issue and the entire story arc for that matter has been great fun to read." Adventures of Superman chapter 25 was reviewed by Mark Pritchard. It was reviewed by Bizarro, who gave this story a 4 out of 5. Mark also reviewed Smallville Season 11, Chapter 67, saying, "Fast-paced and action-packed carries the day this week," and he gave this chapter a 3 out of 5. Comic books available this week from October 23rd include Adventures of Superman Chapter 26 digital comic has been available since October 21st. Adventures of Superman number 6 print edition. DC Universe vs. Masters of the Universe number 2. Injustice Gods Among Us number 10 print edition, which is available in a variant cover. Justice League number 24 is available in a variant cover, a digital combo pack, and a black and white variant cover. Superman number 24 is also available in a variant cover. Teen Titans number 24 is also available in a variant cover. Justice League Beyond 2.0 Chapter 6 digital comic will be available October 25th. Smallville Season 11 Chapter 68 digital comic will also be available October 25th. And Absolute Luthor Joker hardcover.
There's only a few months of 2013 remaining, so now's the time to pick your Superman wall calendar for 2014. Get your 2014 Superman Man of Steel wall calendar for $12.59. Or what about a 2014 Injustice Gods Among Us wall calendar, also just $12.59. These and other great 2014 calendars are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop.
In other news, Play Imaginative has announced the upcoming release of their New 52 Jim Lee Superman Super Alloy 1/6 scale action figure. Scheduled for release at the end of this month, this limited edition 1/6 scale Superman collectible comes with an interchangeable head and hands, over 25 points of articulation, a posable fabric cape, remote control heat vision light up eyes, and more. A Crystal Fortress of Solitude base features lights and a fan to simulate a flowing cape. Order yours from the Superman homepage online store now. Medicom also released images of its upcoming Real Action Hero Superman figure from its Batman Hush line. The 300mm tall figure is due out in June 2014 and follows the already released Batman and Joker figures from this line, and will be followed by the release of Harley Quinn and Catwoman figures as well. No pricing or pre-order information has been made available as yet. The massive multiplayer online game DC Universe Online will be getting a major graphics upgrade for the pending release of the PlayStation 4. In Game Update 31, the developers have made a combination of art upgrades that, when taken together, offer a significantly improved visual experience. Most notably, the level of detail on textures will be increased throughout the game on PC and PlayStation 4. Look for the PC update next week and the PlayStation update in early November. A new ebook titled Superman Everyone Wants a Piece of His Legend by Sandro Contenta is now available, chronicling the theft and recovery of actor Nicolas Cage's copy of Action Comics number 1 and the ongoing legal battle over the ownership of the character. The ebook is available now for $2.99 at the starstore.ca website and itunes.com/stardispatches. That's all the news there was for the week October 18th to October 25th. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, not too long ago, I guess about a week now, my one Man of Steel statue that I was actually able to get arrived. I am very happy with the way it looks. This is, of course, the iconic symbolism that we got from as early as the very first shot of Henry Cavill in the suit. And this is right after he stands back up after being thrown into the bank vault in Smallville. Now, when this picture was released 2 years ago or whatever it was, we had no idea where this bank vault was, what it was that was powerful enough to throw him into it, and how exactly he was going to react. But you could tell by the look of determination and some might say anger on Henry Cavill's face that Superman was certainly not happy about the condition he had been put in. Now that we've all seen the movie, we know what happened. We know he gets thrown into the bank vault in Smallville after getting thrown through the wall of the bank, and then he comes back fighting, of course, and in the end, he takes them all down. This statue is cool because it has a opposable cape. It has wiring in it, so you can actually put the cape in different directions. It comes with a little placard that it stands on that's shaped like the S from the Man of Steel movie. It doesn't look like this one. It looks like, of course, the one that's on his chest there. And the likeness to Henry Cavill is very, very cool. It's very lifelike. I've showcased some of my Superman Returns statues in previous editions of this vidcast, and I'm not nearly as happy with those as I am with this. Those are much more simple. They are, I'm looking at one now, and it I don't know. So it's more cartoony and not as lifelike. This is much more realistic. It looks like a body in movement. It looks like Henry Cavill, and it looks like how Henry Cavill looked, of course, in Man of Steel. Now, speaking of Man of Steel, we've had some news about the sequel to Man of Steel. There was some filming that happened not too long ago. Two football teams, one supposedly standing in for the Metropolis team and one standing in for the Gotham team. Gotham team being dressed in black and gold and Metropolis team in red and white. I talked to Steve about this on the Radio KAL live broadcast from this past Monday, and we were kind of surprised that the jerseys for Metropolis were white and red, whereas the jerseys for Gotham were black and gold, which is exactly what Batman's colors are, whereas Superman doesn't wear white. The jerseys for Metropolis were all white with red numbers and I guess a red collar. And I was thinking that it's possible that it could be that those are the home team colors, and that when they go on the road, the Metropolis colors would be blue and red or something along those lines. But I've always thought it was kind of silly in shows like Smallville, where the Crow was wearing the red cape and was standing there with its hands on his hips. These were iconic poses that were introduced to the lexicon of superheroes by Superman himself. So I guess on Smallville they were trying to show where he got some of his influences from, and the whole idea was we were never going to see him in the suit. So at least we'll see some of what kind of looks like what Superman might look like in the suit if we ever would see him in the show, which we finally saw a CGI version at the end of the Smallville finale, but a lot of fans weren't happy with that. I guess what I'm saying here is, for a movie, and especially a movie franchise where they're trying to go with a more realistic take on it, Superman's costume comes from Krypton. Not that a college or a university couldn't later on model their uniforms after Superman, if Superman is the champion of Metropolis and of the world, but he makes his home in Metropolis, or at least makes that the main place that he protects, or it's known to people that that's where he operates most of the time. They could redesign their uniforms to make them look more like Superman's uniform, but for Superman to get his influences from other things that are already established kind of takes that whole idea of his uniform, his colors, and his style being from Krypton and throws it out the window, which, on Smallville, they kind of hinted that maybe Clark got his idea for a cape by looking at a crow on the wall of his high school. So I kind of while I like the idea of the uniforms being modeled more after the colors of the hero, from what we've heard, Batman is kind of retired, or he's a seasoned hero. He's been at it for a long time, and maybe at this point in time, people in Gotham know about him. He's not as much a mysterious, dark, shadowy legend as he is a legendary hero that people know and love, whereas Superman is fairly new, and these costumes for the football team already exist. These uniforms were already in use, possibly. So those could be some explanations. The other thing that seemed to possibly leak out, if true, the rumor is that Ben Affleck was on site and did film a scene. There's also a counter rumor that he was in another state altogether filming for a different project, and that he couldn't have been at this football game that was being filmed. And of course, all word that we've received officially was that they were going to be filming some extra scenes. And now we've kind of heard a rumor that it will be the opening of the movie, and we've heard one of the executives speaking and saying that yes, Batman is in the movie, Batman and Superman will come together at some point. There will be capes involved. There will be lots of action and lots of adventure. We've got some great, wonderful scenes with these two characters. Snyder and the other people working on the movie know exactly what they're doing, have a great story, and have a great representation of these two characters in mind, and everyone is going to be pleased with that representation. That being said, at this point in time, that's the best I could hope for. We've already gotten Batman in the movie, which was something I would have never advocated for, and I don't think Man of Steel fans would have advocated for this soon, but it's happening. Could he be not much more than a cameo? Could he be a Nick Fury type figure who's not so much training Superman, but kind of trying to help him curtail himself or help him mold himself into a greater hero for the people or something? That kind of belittles Superman too. But maybe he's an investigative detective, as Batman should be, and yet never has been in any of his movie representations, and we'll actually see him investigating Superman and trying to figure out if he's a threat and trying to figure out what he could possibly do about it, and hopefully realizing that not very much, but maybe he could befriend him, and maybe he could watch him from close. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer, and at the moment, he may not be sure as to whether or not the Man of Steel is someone's enemy. It looked as though he was protecting the Earth, but in the first movie, but who exactly knows? But the rumor was that Ben Affleck filmed a scene underneath the football stadium where he was giving a pep talk to the Gotham football team, and somebody said to me, not only do we have to watch Ben Affleck as Batman, they've already ruined the character, but now he's a coach in this. That's a possibility, I suppose. If you were the owner of a football team, you could certainly decide to coach if you wanted to, and if you had the power and the influence and the money that Bruce Wayne has, you could do basically whatever you wanted. We don't know if he actually filmed this. We don't know if this is a leakage of a script page. We don't know if somebody just made this up. The idea is that somebody on their way to the restroom ran into somebody else who knew someone else who was an extra who had filmed a scene earlier in the day with Ben Affleck, and that the scene was that he was giving a pep talk to the football players. My thought on this was, if it did happen, it's possible that Bruce Wayne is the owner of the football team, and sometimes the owner comes in and has a few words or says a few things. It doesn't necessarily mean he's the coach. It could also mean he's just an inspiration to the team. Maybe he supplies some money. Maybe he bought the stadium. Maybe he supplied their uniforms, their workout equipment. Maybe they know him. Maybe he, to them, is a hero in his own right, that he supports the team and supports the city, and maybe he's given public speeches before, and maybe people look up to him in the city, and he's done a lot of good, just as Batman has done good on the other side, although they don't know he's the same person. So I wouldn't expect he's a coach, although they could go that way. As I said, if he's supplying the money to the team, he could say one day that he wants to be the coach too. But some exciting things are happening, and some executives again from the WB have said that they are a lot further along on the Man of Steel sequel than we would expect. And I guess according to some extras present at the scene, some of the PAs or some of the people involved in direction and moving people along were referring to the movie as Batman versus Superman. But again, I think this is just what it's being referred to as of right now. And until we hear officially that is the official title and that is announced as being such, I'm still going to go with that's what they're going with, because that's what people understand it as, and that's what people are hearing about as of right now. And we'll see what title they end up with as we move forward. But it's exciting. It's an exciting time. I mean, any day, any week, we could hear more news. Any moment, there could be another scene filming. There could be another star spotting. There could be new costumes spotted. There could be new villains spotted. We're moving into that time again. We had it with Man of Steel a few years ago, or a year and a half ago, and we'll have it with this movie as we move forward. And right up until the day of release, we'll be seeing different things on TV and going, "Oh, that looks really cool." And at the same time, we Superman and Man of Steel fans will be concerned that somehow they're going to put too much Batman influence in this movie and somehow ruin what we were hoping would be a new Superman franchise. But we won't really know until it actually appears. So it's exciting. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And remember, I am the night. I am the darkness. I'm not the hero or football player this town needs, but I'm the one it's going to get. And my voice is weird.